It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Bam, 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 bam! The Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It's 5:30 in Chicago, 5:30 in Houston. Maybe if you're down in New Orleans, 5:30, Houston, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, out on the West Coast, where the Los Angeles Lakers spank that ass. The varsity team, like the true champions that the Lakers are, and LeBron, the GOAT, was amazing last night. Right now, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles. Shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers. AD, keep balling. Do your thing there. Or maybe up in the Bay Area, San Francisco, where Steph Curry is in the Big Apple, New York City, on East Coast time tonight, balling. Or maybe up in Portland, Oregon, or Seattle. On the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. That's when I come on live. Monday through Friday, my normal start times and days. Subscribe, share, screen grab some of the show, and create a viral moment. You can screen grab some of this video, put it up on your social media platforms. It doesn't matter. YouTube short, it can be on TikTok, on Threads, on Twitter or X, Instagram, Facebook. It's all good. It's all good. So today, February 29th. So let me shout out the leapers, all the leapers. So I've learned today that those who were actually born on February 29th, they're called leapers. Now, when it's not a leap year, they celebrate their birthday usually on March 1st. According to, I saw a whole bunch of leapers, like the Today Show had a whole big-ass studio full of people born on February 29th. And they call them leapers. So now I know. So shout out to all you leapers celebrating your birthday. And they actually said, well, I'm 11. So I meant that was like 44. So I guess, every 4 years. So if you're 11 times 4, 44. So actually 44, but I guess in leap years, they were only 11. Somebody was 10. They had a young lady that was 3. So she was really 12. So you just do the math, 3 times 4. So shout out, happy birthdays to all leapers. So do you know who's a leaper? Rapper Jeffrey Atkins. You're saying, okay, Jeffrey. You're like, gee, that name kind of ring a bell. Jeffrey, don't guess. Stop. Always on time. One of my favorite songs. Dun, 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 with Ashanti. My man JaRule. Jeffrey Atkins, a.k.a. JaRule, is 48 today. That's in like real years. So 12. So he is, in leap years, he is 12 years old. So happy 12th birthday to JaRule, or happy 48th birthday. And actor Jesse Usher. So you saw him, I think he was like Will Smith's son in the second Independence Day. The one that wasn't that good. Because Independence Day is one of my favorite movies of all time. A quick, funny story. But Jeffrey Atkins is 34 today. He also was, I'm going to tell you the story in a second. He was sent, so you had their original John Shaft, Richard Roundtree, rest in peace, was in the movie. So you had the ultimate John Shaft, Richard Roundtree. You had Samuel Jackson. He was the main character. He was Shaft. Or really, he was like Shaft Jr., because all of a sudden you saw Richard Roundtree. And so Samuel L. Jackson's son, the son, or you could say the grandson of Shaft, that was Jesse Usher, 34. So let's see here, 34 today, so let's see here. So he's like 8.5, I guess. 8.5 years old. So anyway, happy birthday to all my leapers. So funny story about the first Independence Day. When it first came out, I remember it was like 95. Yeah, I think it was 95. And so I'm in a theater. Damaris and I are in a theater. we might be the only two black people in the theater. Theater's full because the movie got a lot of hype. It was huge. Everybody was selling out. There may have been maybe at the most 3 or 4 other black people in the movie. So the scene where the aliens blow up the White House, at that moment, I'd leap up out of my chair like, yeah! People kind of look like he's cheering because they blew up the White House. And then I'm looking around like, yeah, what? What? Yeah, what? What? And the mayor's is like, will you please sit your ass down? So I just thought it was funny because that is one of my favorite movies of all time. The very first Independence Day, Will Smith, Captain Hiller, I think it was Captain Hiller. You had my girl before the plastic surgery, which she really didn't need at all. Vivica A. Fox, Jeff Goldblum, tall, skinny dude. One of my favorite movies, like I said, of all time. So, and now, every day is Black History Day here on the Geno Jones Show. However, here in America, February, America recognizes February is Black History Month. So they should be watching the show. So today is the last day in February, so I just wanted to just put you up on game and share a little wisdom, a little knowledge you might or might not know. So if you watch me up in Chicago or up in New York City or up in Detroit or Cleveland or maybe up in Milwaukee, Minneapolis, you probably need your heat. Your heat is probably on because it's still pretty cold. As a matter of fact, I heard it was like hot. They were breaking records. It was like 78, almost 80 in some cities, and now it's like 30, wind chill in the 20s. So you probably got your heat on. So you can thank a black woman for that. Oh, by the way, March is Women's History Month, and we're going to be celebrating women, specifically celebrating black women, while celebrating, shout out, women every day here on the Geno Jones Show. But we are going to, in a special way, we're going to center black women on the show, and we're going to feature some black women business owners that's doing some dynamic stuff, groundbreaking. Some have broken through the glass ceiling or just the ceiling in terms of being a business owner or entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, starting next week. So, Alice Walker. Who is Alice Walker? Well, if you got your heat on and your heat is keeping you warm in your house or in your car, you can thank Alice Walker, Alice H. Parker. Alice Parker. She was born in 1895. She died in 1920. So, my gosh, she was only 25. She accomplished a lot in a short period of time. She had the patent and invented the central heating system. So shout out to Alice H. Parker, because I don't know what the hell I would do growing up in Chicago without, them radiators just didn't quite really cut it. But anyway, so shout out to Alice H. Parker. Someone you should know for Black History Month, which today is the last day. Hey, I want to shout out Edward Copes, my guest last night. It was a great conversation. He is the chairman for the it's called NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, the Charleston Professionals. So he is the chairman for the Charleston, South Carolina chapter. They have chapters nationwide. As a matter of fact, if you have a son or daughter that's a graduating senior, or if you have a son or daughter or grandchild that's in college, or maybe a niece or nephew, they have an opportunity to get a scholarship if they are majoring in engineering, if they're planning to be an engineer or majoring in a field related to engineering. It didn't matter what type of engineering, any mechanical, all the different engineering fields, they have an opportunity to get a scholarship, and then they're going to have a big event in May 18th, called STEMapalooza, where it's just going to be like one giant science, technology. STEM is like science, technology. I want to say science, technology, not electricity, or STEM is usually science, technology, and math. Now, why I'm losing the M, engineering. Duh, you just talked about a black engineer, Jesus Christ. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? So that's STEM. It's going to be a big STEM festival May 18th here in the actually I believe in North Charleston. So you can just do NSBE.org and then just do a search for STEMapalooza May 18th here in the Charleston. Maybe you want to fly down or drive down, make it because it'll be beautiful. The weather here May 18th is going to be beautiful. So if you're up in New York, Chicago, or Philly, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, even the Chi, that's kind of a long drive from Chicago, but the weather's going to be beautiful. So don't drive, jump on a plane and come down and take advantage and be a part, enjoy STEMapalooza and learn everything you can about science and technology and engineering and mathematics. It's going to be great. Robotics, AI, augmented, so he was telling me about this, the next big thing, I think it was augmented reality. So go back and binge watch last night's show. Once again, shout out to Edward Copes. We had a great conversation. So if you got a son or daughter or grandchild or a niece or nephew or a student in your class that loves this, like when it comes to like these smartphones and tablets, iPads or tablets, that's like a whiz that enjoys video games or just, operating on these sophisticated smartphones and showing you how to download apps and how to use the apps. They might want to go into the engineering field or just the STEM field, science and technology, engineering, mathematics. So many opportunities to make a whole lot of money. And we need to be in these fields because if we're not in them, then people will use that technology against us and our community. So we need to make sure that we are in these fields to call out the bullshit and the racism and the misogyny and sexism and the anti-blackness. So check out last night's episode. It was a great episode. I want to thank my man, Edward Copes, for coming on. So Friday, it's like Funny Friday. My guest co-host, my number one co-host, Miss Keela Carson, so you don't want to miss it. Kind of like my week in review show. Shout out to my radio listeners. I've been on vacation all week. I got to shout out my radio sister, Savannah J. My sister. I love you, my sister. Thank you for holding it down. Love you, sis. Miss Savannah J., who also Live 5 News, Monday mornings at like around 9:30. So she has a segment that runs every Monday, part of, I can't think of the exact name. It's Palmetto something. So she is one of the featured co-hosts that talks to people here, primarily here in the area, or maybe people who are coming to the area. We got our Black Expo that's coming the weekend of March 9th. So I hope to have the CEO of Black Pages USA, my man Darren Thomas, as my guest or one of his part of his media team. But hopefully we'll get Darren on. Darren's a friend of the show. You've seen him if you've been watching my show for 3 years. He comes on to tell you about our Black Expo weekend, the Taste of Black Charleston, the Black Expo, to where my radio stations will be. My radio station and our sister stations are going to be broadcasting live. Jennifer Lewis is going to be like the featured guest celebrity. She'll be signing autographs, speaking, and gospel artist Diedrich Haddon. So it's always just a great time. All the black business owners and vendors, just great fun for the entire family. You can stop by the Star 997 booth, Star 997. I'll be there broadcasting live. Fresh haircut, some new gear, killing the game, killing the game. So we'll talk about that next week. All right, so, hey, listen, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you and especially you. Watch me live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Just screen grab, get a video clip of this show. Let's make it go viral. Create a YouTube short a video clip on TikTok or Threads or Twitter, or they call it X, Instagram, Facebook. It's all good. All right. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Goose Creek. So Goose Creek is like one of the surrounding suburbs. Here in the Charleston, I know that's a hell of a name, Goose Creek. Here in the Charleston Metro. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. KelbeCuttinup. KelbeCuttinup. Because Kel is an artiste. He's a hair artist. Beyond the master barber. He's like the master barber supreme and a hair artist. And Allie Jones, fashion designer, future superstar fashion designer, and she's the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check Allie Jones and her collection out on IG, on Instagram, lx.ncl_. That's that little dash at the bottom at the end of that last L. lx.ncl_. Little dash at the end of the last L. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Friday, kicking off. No, we don't call it Friday. Kicking off Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's going to be Friday with my guest co-host, number one in your program, number one in your heart, number one co-host, Miss Keela Carson. Funny Friday. You know, we always keep it. It's like a 30-minute YouTube comedy special, in essence, featuring myself and my co-host is Keela Carson. So we have fun. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love you. So go back and binge watch last night's episode with Edward Copes, the chairman for the National Society of Black Engineers here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Great conversation and more. Check out, binge watch all my monologues for my episodes from this week. You can binge watch all those back episodes because the monologues were fire. And we'll see you live 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 p.m. Central time, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast Pacific time, this Friday. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.